Hi there, all you lovely Heroes fans, my name is Mangs, and I welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Heroes Weekly. I am feeling much better now, and I'm definitely ready to delve into some Heroes news again, so let's get started. In today's news and updates, we are currently focused on Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War. This isn't exactly brand new news, as this was intended for last week's episode, which didn't come out, but we'll include the current banners anyhow. On the first banner, we have Sigurd, Daedra, and Tiltyu, 3 brand new units. Sigurd in particular is hailed as the Reinhardt counter we've all been waiting for, as even though he suffers a weapon triangle disadvantage against the blue mage, his skills makes him very resistant to brave magic tomes, and if you slap a distant counter on him, he can definitely pose a challenge to the current metagame. Then we have another rather controversial genealogy banner with 1 brand new unit in Ira and 2 older ones in Lachesis and Eldigan. The Ira banner in particular has caused quite an uproar in the community, as by placing her on a separate banner with 2 older units, the community feels as if intelligent systems are purposely milking their fans, forcing them to spend unnecessary money on orbs in order to obtain her. Considering Ira's attractiveness and usefulness, making her a very sought after and popular unit, this is seen by many as a dick move on the part of the developers, as the community as a whole feels she should have been part of the first banner, or as a Tempest trial reward. Me and Agam discussed this matter in more detail during the last episode of Friday Night Heroes, so go check that out if you haven't done so already. There is also a new paralog available to play as well, World of the Holy War, featuring most of the new units available on the new banners, as well as giving you some quick and easy orbs. There's also the Grand Hero Battle, which features Arvis, a new and powerful red mage with a lot of ploys. Sadly, he wasn't the armored mage that we were all hoping for, but still an impressive unit in his own rights. This particular Grand Hero Battle is easier than the earlier ones, with a lot more flexibility in how the player can choose to approach it. Me and Agim cleared this map on Infernal difficulty during the last episode of Friday Night Heroes, so check that out if you haven't done so already. There is also some new maps available right now called the Developer Challenge, featuring 5 maps with 3 difficulty levels each. The maps themselves are nothing special, featuring teams made by the developers, but there's 15 easy orbs for you to pick up, which is always appreciated. Lastly, the Tempest trials are about to open up once again on the 23rd of October. The 40% bonus units this time around will be Sigurd, Ira, Daedra, and Tiltyu, and the 20% bonus units will be Arvis, Arden, Eldigan, and Lachesis. The rewards for this Tempest trials will of course as always be orbs and shards, but this time around also sacred seals. The unit that you can unlock this time around is Arden, with a 4-star version being available at 6,000 points and a 5-star version being available at 30,000 points. Then it's time to take a look at the character of the week, and for this week we decided to pick the character we thought would win the voting gauntlet. That of course didn't turn out in our favor, as it is fucking impossible to predict that thing, but nevertheless it's time to feature the Dragon Scion, Young Tiki. Young Tiki is a mixed tank, with respectable stats all across the board. Her selling points over other tanks is her resistant targeting attack and her superior speed, being able to avoid a lot of crucial double attacks. She's in the middle point between Noe and Faye, being able to tank maps that they normally wouldn't be able to. Tiki's problem comes from how thinly her stats are spread. She doesn't have a fatal weakness, aside from against Falchion or Naga, but her speed, while superior compared to other tanks, is just enough to not get doubled by good units. However, she will get doubled by the best units. Still, Tiki is a welcome addition to any team, considering her high stat total. Also, thanks to her being a dragon and her resistance-based attack, she sees some use in the higher tiers of Arena, where armor emblem teams reign with an iron fists. Her stat distribution also makes her perfect for receiving the summoner support. As always, the builds featured here will be available on my Discord server, as well as in my closed Facebook group, Fort Mangs, links in the video description. Then it's time to take a look at some fan-submitted builds, and this first one comes in from, and sorry for mispronouncing this, Jägersard 1998. Anyway, this whale build focuses on survivability. Steady Breath increases Small Tiki's defense when attacked and lets her charge Miracle faster. Renewal restores her hit points, letting her use Miracle again. Note that Miracle doesn't work if you're at 1 hit point at the start of combat. Attack Ploy reduces the enemy's attack, and Panic Ploy turns their buffs into debuffs, making Small Tiki harder to take down, aside of voting gauntlets, that is. Lol. Then we have this fan build by a user named Dennis, and with Darting Blow, this Small Tiki reaches an astounding 39 speed on player face. In conjunction with Quick Riposte, this means that she will often double on both faces. Lightning Breath Plus is a popular skill to put on her, because her mixed bulk lets her make great use of the Lightning Breath's distant counter effect. Threaten, Resistance 3, and Attack +1 are there to counteract Tiki's low attack. And lastly, we have this build by Coupon, which runs Steady Breath, which increases Small Tiki's defense and lets her activate her special sooner. The addition of the distant defense steal makes her able to tank physical and magical attacks. Lightning Breath Plus grants her the distant counter effects at the cost of having lower might and increased Ether's cooldown to 6 as opposed to the usual 5. However, the combination of Steady Breath and Quick Riposte mitigates that effect somewhat. This Tiki can also place herself as a shield in front of her allies by using Swap. The next character of the week is going to be none other than the master of the barbecue himself, Arvis, so send in your Arvis builds to mangsheroesteam@gmail.com. And then we come to the weekly challenge, and for this challenge we asked you guys to submit meme builds, and this first one comes in from Be Young. Now this Mask Knight's sole purpose in life is to heal. Falchion, heal. Reciprocal Aid, heal. Soul, heal. Renewal, heal. Breath of Life, heal. Breath of Life Seal, heal. Fury, heal. And then we got this build called Snoop Ninja by Adrian C, formerly known as Snoop Lion and Snoop Dogg. This guy has reached an ascended level of dankness that made it possible for him to join a phone game. His trademark Smoke Dagger, TM, paired with Attack Smoke, makes all nearby enemies so high from the passive smoke that their defense, resistance, and attack are all greatly reduced. Water Sweep and Phantom Lance ensures that mages become too ensnared in the dankness to retaliate. Death Blow adds some proper sting to the experience. We don't do weak-ass drugs. And then we got this Berkut build submitted by Takumi the Blamed. Now the Iron Lance is like a symbol for how Berkut relies on no one other than himself and his own power. Smite is a valuable tool for getting rid of those pesky peasants. Rising Wind symbolizes Berkut's rise to the throne of Rigel. And no matter how dire the situation is, Berkut defies the odds with defiant attack. Berkut, however, is an honorable man. He only doubles when his enemies can retaliate. That is the way of the brash assaults. Despite Berkut's independence, he cannot bear to see his allies harmed, so he protects them with Ward Cavalry. Truly the most chivalrous and attractive of all 17-year-old men. And then we have this build submitted by Rocky. Riss is a peaceful fellow. He is aware of the hectic pace at which the young guns are moving through life, so he'll give them some time to slow down with his dazzling staff. He's also known to help those who have abandoned the path of the gods to rehabilitate and show them the way to the heavenly light. Distant defense puts Riss resistance up to 46, which is more than enough to resist the temptations of the devil. A known motivator, Riss aids his allies with infantry pulse. As a pacifist, Attack Ploy is a great deal to deal with the troublesome ne'er-do-wells. He has AC support with Est, a lost soul, who consulted Riss for assistance. And then we have this build by Aerosmith. After yet another night of complaining from Matilda's side about Claire being too close to Clive, Clive had had enough. There could only be one way to let this madness end. He had to devour Matilda and kill her horse with the Rider's Bane, feasting on it after cooking it in a bonfire. Triangle Adept is a great skill on him, since in his world there is no weapon triangle, meaning that the negative sides of Triangle Adept are rendered mooch. Clive knew that the only way to get rid of his wife was by using Lancebreaker. Spur Speed helps him make his horse faster in case the police catches on to him and chases after him. Hardy Bearing renders him immune to priority affecting skills, which may or may not include spiny shells during a potential police chase. And then we have this week's winner, and this one is submitted by Shadow, who submitted this Odin Dark, edgy master build. This Odin runs Blarblade because Blarblade Plus is for weaklings. This potent Odin Dark has no need for extra fancy fluff. Blarblade more than suffices for Odin's heroic and dark abilities. He is a true hero, and no matter how dark, he always finds time to help his dark allies of justice with reciprocal aid, and Luna represents the dark shadows that loom in Odin Dark's heart. Life and death is the only way Odin knows how to live. Go big or go home. And in desperate situations, Odin Dark shall strike twice without interruption. However, Odin Dark's darkness is so dark that it manifests itself in a force field of darkness called Savage Blow, doing harm to all enemies in the darkness. Odin Dark, however, is always ready to jump into the dark fray. Even his pulse moves at a quickened pace. Okay, anyway, that really hurts my throat. Anyway, so the next weekly challenge is going to be creative and hilarious arena names. Now, you don't have to necessarily have the arena team yourself. You can also take a screenshot of an enemy arena team that you just faced off against. Send in your submissions to mangsheroesteam@gmail.com, and we will pick a winner. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for this week, but join us next Sunday for more Heroes news, builds, and contests. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to drop it a like and a comment, it really helps out the channel a lot. And if you have any friends who play Heroes, do share this video with them. Remember that if you hang out in my Discord channel, you can ask a mod for the unique Heroes fan roll to make your name nice and purple and to be tagged in any Heroes related events within my community. Before we wrap up this episode, I'd like to give a special thank you to my Heroes team who helped me put this show together, and my designer, Mina Tangerina, who designed all the beautiful visuals for this episode. Until next time guys, my name has been Mangs, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye!